I tell you, I don't understand why you hate it so much.
Can't stand it.
Alright, it's in the center.
You look like one of them kids off of Little Rascals or something, or South Park. Somebody.
Alright, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
You leaning?
Mm-hmm.
What? You mad?
Mm-mm.
What's wrong?
Just disappointed.
That what, the hat?
You didn't shave. I hate that hat.
Alright, hey everybody, how y'all doing tonight? Today. Nah, these videos go up at night though, generally.
Sometimes it go up Thursday morning at 5 a.m.
Yeah. Did want to re-stress that we're not marriage counselors. We're not ministers. I ain't licensed to do much of anything but drive, but I know that these things work for us and they've helped us. And so I just want to share them with you guys. We just want to share, the love of Christ and what Christ has done in our life, what God's done to keep our marriage healthy and strong. So know that. All right, you saw the title of the video, In Sync. We want to talk about 3 ways that the enemy keeps a hold of a marriage and wants to destroy it, the methods that he uses to destroy it. So without further ado, we're going to get into it. Again, I got a list. I'm going to be looking at that list, like I said. So, first thing I want to stress is if you're fighting against each other in a marriage, nobody wins. Nobody's gonna win that fight. No one. Alright? Even if you win that little argument, you both lose. Because you weren't looking after the other person. You were trying to make a point. You were trying to say, I'm hurt and I want to hurt you back. It wasn't, you weren't giving grace. You weren't giving grace to that person. You weren't expressing to that person how much you love them and how much you are willing to accept who they are and not be holding grudges or extremely upset about it. All right. So Kia had a really good analogy with the football players.
Think of your marriage as a football team. Every player has a part. They all have a role. They all have something that they're good at. And so each player on that team has a job. You want to put a player who's good at that specific job in their proper place. So when you were talking about your marriage, there are some things that the husband is very good at. There are some things that the wife is very good at. And then there's things that you can't get accomplished without being a team. Amen.
All right, so if you're gonna fight, it's not gonna work. Everybody's gonna lose if you're fighting against your spouse trying to win an argument, right? All right, so the first topic we want to talk about is money. Money. All right, that causes so many issues in a marriage. You're fighting over this my money, this your money, but that shouldn't be the case. That's not how it should be.
When we talk to couples and ask them, what is your number one argument? What are the biggest blow-ups about? 9 times out of 10, they say money. Am I right?
Yep. And it doesn't have to be that way. So a few things you can do with that to keep the enemy out of that portion of your marriage is don't say, I pay for this or I pay for that, right? And then don't be like, oh, you pay this bill and you pay that, and I pay this bill, you pay this bill. And again, I want to stress this may not be how you're doing it. We're not talking bad about you. This is just ways that the enemy can be all up in your marriage. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that. It's not your bill, my bill. It's y'all's bill. It's everybody's bill, right? You use the cable, and your spouse uses the cable, right? Both of y'all use the internet. Both of y'all use the lights. Both of y'all use water. It's not your it's not your bill. It's y'all's bill. It's not your money. It's y'all's money.
So we're going to talk about finances, and just know that these are tips. Some of these tips may work for your marriage. Some of them may not work for your marriage. Just know that we are trying to help. This is just a suggestion.
It's just a suggestion. That's great. That's great. I don't know why I reiterated what you just said.
That's what you do.
Alright, a big thing that can cause so many arguments and allow the devil that foothold in is bank accounts. Alright, so you have your separate bank account, right? Daddy got his bank account, he do what he want to do. He pay a few bills. Mama got her bank account, she do what she want to do, she pay a few bills. All the bills get paid, and it seems, all well and dandy when it's working, but when something does go bad, then we're playing the blame game, right? Oh, that was your bill. Oh, well, I didn't have enough in my account. Then we're back and forth, boom, an argument. So you shouldn't be letting the enemy in that way, right? You should just have one bank account. It's bills for you and it's bills for your spouse as one, right? God said that the two have become one. So be one financially. It's not your money, it's y'all's money.
I'm speaking from experience. As soon as Jesse and I got married, we combined our bank accounts, and we have never fought over money, ever. Even when things were rocky in the beginning, money was not an issue because we both worked. All the money went into one account, and the bills were paid out of that one account. So, yeah.
One account. No secret accounts, no secret stashes of money or anything like that. And if you're not doing that and things are going peachy, praise God.
Amen.
But that is an avenue, right? It's kind of like roads. Like, don't leave a road for the devil to travel up your, driveway to get into your home, right? If you know he coming, which we all know he's coming, right? Put the roadblock up, right? Put the roadblock up. Hey, we don't have any separate accounts. You can't get us that way.
The thief cometh to kill, steal, and destroy. And one of those ways he destroys is through finances.
Money. All right, next one. What we got?
All right. A big thing after combining bank accounts as a couple, please remember your first seed goes to God. Tithing is so important. It is key. Your finances will not stay in order. They might be in order for a little while. They will not stay in order if you are not doing what you're supposed to do with what God has blessed you with. So yes, tithing, so important, so key. That is something that we vow to do with our money. Everything we earn, we pay our tithe. We give our 10% to God. So key.
Even if we miss a Sunday, like, man, we forgot to pay tithes. Either we'll go do it online or the next week We giving that
Double up.
Yeah, we doubling up. We giving what we owed last week. We giving what we owe, this week, right? So,
I mean, you're going to miss a Sunday or two not going to church, having to be out of town. In our situation, we've had a couple of classes that we went to for Sunday morning service, and yeah, we did not make it into the sanctuary to pay our tithes. Don't forget to pay our tithes tomorrow. But we get it done. We make it right.
That's right. Another way to avoid having arguments about money is to talk about big purchase items. Have a conversation with your spouse. If you want to go buy a cheeseburger, go buy the cheeseburger. You don't need permission. You don't need to have a lengthy conversation about that. But if you want a new iPad, like I do, then you can have a conversation with your spouse and just let them know, hey, I was thinking about buying this iPad. It's going to cost $1,000 or whatever. Can we afford that? Should we buy it? Is that a good idea? What do you think, honey? Just have an open conversation about it. And, your spouse, again, may have some information that you don't have. He or she may have gotten some news that day where she got a bonus, he got a bonus, or got laid off. Anything could happen. So have a conversation about big purchase items, because those things can swell up into, atomic bomb arguments.
And no, honey, we cannot afford a bigger TV right now. All right?
Why me, baby? Girl, I need to know why, baby. Why me, baby? What did I do, girl? What did I do?
All right. Next on the list, parenting. We have to be in sync with our parenting. I need to be able to trust that she's going to uphold the rules that we have set up, and she needs to be able to trust that I'm going to uphold those rules as well. I'm going to hold the children accountable, for the things that they do wrong, and I'm going to reward them for the things that they do right. Again, in the right measurements that me and my wife have set up. And again, like the last video or one of those videos about friendship, this is my best friend. I trust her. She trusts me. Kids don't need to be necessarily taught how to play parents against each other. They'll do it on their own. Nobody has to teach them that. They got that. They got that covered.
Just like lying.
Just like lying. Yeah. Wow. That's right. If they want something, they know how to go to one parent and ask. And if that parent says no, they may wait a few minutes, hours even, and go ask the other parent. Right? So
kids know what parent to go to get what they want.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
They know who's more lenient. They know who's more strict.
Yeah.
Our kids, for example, know if they hungry, they better go talk to dad. And if they want to go somewhere or do something, they come and talk to me. That's just the way it works.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So for the most part, we make rules together. We talk about the direction of the family and how we want our kids to be raised.
But every parent doesn't know every situation that's going to come up, if you know what I mean. You cannot automatically know the consequence for every situation that's going to happen. So sometimes if the kids mess up, we might not have a consequence set for that, but if dad comes up with a consequence right then, I go with it. Whatever the consequence is, I go with it. Sometimes dad, because he's the more strict one, I should say, he comes off a little harsh, and I'll just pull him to the side. We'll go upstairs. We'll talk about it. And then dad can go back to the kids and say, hey, look, I realized that I was a little harsh. Me and mom talked about it, and maybe this consequence is a little much. So this is what we decided. Instead of, hey, why you gotta be so mean? Why are you, she don't have to do that. He don't have to do that. Yeah. What's up with you? You know, that's unnecessary.
It's destructive to the kids.
And teaching them how to play the parents, play us.
And get us get us out of sync. All right, and we out of sync. You're out of sync, you can't lead. You're out of sync, you cannot lead a household. The same thing goes for so many aspects of parenting. Chores, manners, right? So, number one, you just want to be on the same page with your spouse about these things, right? Y'all need to have those lengthy conversations and some of that intimate time where it's just you and the kids aren't anywhere to be found. You need to be talking about these kind of things, right? Sometimes you talk about just events of the day, but you need to be talking about parenting things and finances and just being in sync.
You just want to have the same expectations for your kids, and you want to have the same goals in mind for your kids, for their future. That is how you stay in sync. If you have those conversations with your spouse, you stay on the same page, and when you have the same goal in mind, that's how things get accomplished.
Amen to that.
We're not parenting experts.
No. We get it wrong from time to time. We get it wrong, but we do stay in sync with one another and make sure that we can lead a household, holding hands and not, against each other. The football reference Kia was just talking about, everybody who gets a hold of the ball is going to run to the same goal. If somebody's running to the opposite goal, the team's not in sync.
And they're going to lose.
They're going to lose the game. That's just what's going to happen.
Last but not least, let's talk about intimacy. Let's talk about intimacy. You want to be in sync. Intimacy.
All right, let's do it.
Do you have to make them noises? You want to be in sync when it comes to intimacy, right?
Mm-hmm. When you get married, the two have become one. Your body doesn't belong to just you. It belongs to your spouse as well. You got to keep that in mind. You can't use your body against each other. You can't do that. That's not fair.
Sex is not a weapon.
No. It's not a weapon. It is there for your pleasure. It's obviously there to, recreate. Procreate. God gave it for a reason, to bring closeness, to bring intimacy, to again reiterate that oneness. All right, so we all know there are stark differences generally between men and women's sex drive. We know that for a fact, right? Generally speaking, there are some anomalies. And usually what happens is the male is more
driven sexually.
Yeah.
They want it more.
Yeah. Generally speaking, again, I'm not going to say that anymore. I've said it enough. But it's the male, right? The male wants it more, and the female not necessarily, But that sometimes I don't even agree with that. I feel like they may not think about it as much, but that doesn't mean they don't want to be intimate with your husbands. That just means you have to be able to put them in that mood.
Be in sync.
Be in sync with one another. Put them in the mood. Love language. You find out that person's love language, you can get just about anything you want.
True story.
Would you like a gift, madame? You find that love language, and a world of opportunity will open up for you. intimacy wise.
Try it. You'll like it.
You will love it. You will love it. So you don't. If that's the problem that you're having, look up. We'll put a link down in the description. We'll put a link there so you can click that link and you and your spouse take this little quiz almost on how to figure out what your love language is. You may already know it, but if you don't know it, click that link, take the quiz, get to know it, start implementing it right now.
Yes.
Right now, tonight. Because you may think that this rubbing and whatnot is gonna get them in the mood, but it could be something totally different. That gets them that makes them feel loved and comforted and appreciated and wanted. It could be something totally different than what yours is.
We should do a video on that. We'll do a short video and have it up real soon about love languages, just so you'll know the different ones. And just remember, you cannot use your love language on your spouse. You cannot cater to your spouse by using what you like or what you want. That doesn't work. You will mess up everything trying to do that.
That's true. And we know that from experience. We're not just saying it. We know it from experience. So trying to keep this as clean as possible. Your time in the bedroom or wherever it happens needs to be, you guys need to be on the same page with that, right? You can't, you want to be spicy, you want to be innovative, you want to do, new things, but you have to keep in mind that one person may not want to do something too extreme, right? And you can't be, and what's too extreme, right? There's multiple examples of it. I'm not going through that, but what's too extreme for your spouse. So, expectation.
And be able to read your spouse. Again, that's another part of being in sync. Jesse is very good at reading me, knowing if I'm tired. He's very respectful. If he sees that I'm not into it, he may try a few little things to try to get me in the mood, but if it's not working, he don't get mad. He don't fuss. He don't get angry or try to force me or, turn his back to me. He just lets me rest. And sometimes that's all it takes is that little bit of understanding. The next morning, you might be on. So it's a very short video of just some ways to keep the enemy outside of your marriage. Outside. He's going to prowl around anyway, right? But you want to keep a gate up to where he can't get inside your marriage, right? In as many ways as possible, you want to shut the door for the enemy to just, be able to walk through, right? So just keep those things in mind and pray about them. Talk to your spouse about them. See where they're at on these things. And again, communication. I might say this in every single video. You got to communicate with your spouse, right? So you may be looking at this video and your spouse may not. Talk to your spouse about these things. Don't just try to implement them and think, okay, cool, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. No, be in sync. Be in sync about everything. Be in sync. Don't let the enemy get you out of sync. Don't let these three things get you out of sync. Where you're not loving your spouse the way you're supposed to be, not caring for them the way you're supposed to be. Let us know what you think, or what's working in your marriage, or any tips you might have or questions you might have. Just leave them down in the comment section. We are looking for some type of feedback, some type of questions. Give us some work to do. Let us know what's going on. You don't have to get too detailed. You can inbox us if you'd like. But let us know what's working for you or how you feel about this video and the tips that we have given today.
hit the like button, hit the subscribe button,
Hit the share button.
share it. Yeah. And again, this ain't about popularity. I promise you that. Somebody poured into our lives. And we're just extremely thankful for that. Multiple people have poured into our lives. And we felt it best to dish it out. Alright, well, that's all we have for you today. We'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, sharing, liking, all that jazz. Peace.
Bye.